everyone, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name's Deshaun. Sorry, I think it's a little high. But my name's Deshaun, and today I'm here to give you my thoughts on the Morbius trailer. Now, this trailer was... now, Morbius is a weird movie. There hasn't really been a lot of promotion of it. We've known it's been coming out for quite some time now. It got greenlit immediately after Venom was successful. I think they were waiting on Venom, but it got greenlit immediately after Venom was successful. You guys know how I feel about Venom. I kind of hate Venom. Like, I don't hate Venom in terms of the actual movie. I don't mind the movie. I don't think it's a particularly great movie. But Venom kind of, to me personally, represents all the negative aspects of the comic book movie genre. And when people like Martin Scorsese and people who don't like comic book movies, when they talk about comic book movies, all the things they say describe the movie Venom. And I always say that the comic book movie genre has gotten so much better now, and has been taking the materials being taken more seriously and being taken with more care, that whenever I see a movie like a Venom or something or Hellboy, I'm like, this is ridiculous. And Venom was successful because people were able to kind of latch on to it because the critics were really hard on it, and I agree with the critics mostly. People were able to attach to it and turn their brains off. But even the people who like Venom, most of them, I would say 95% of the people who like Venom can honestly have a conversation and say, it's not a good movie, but it was entertaining. And that's kind of the thing with Venom. It's like, is it good? No. Was it entertaining to some people? Yes. Me personally, I do not want to see it again. It did not entertain me in the least bit, and like, I've already got my opinion on that. So, Morbius. Michael Morbius is Morbius the Living Vampire is his name in the comics and in the animated series. I first saw this character in the 90s, 1995 old school Spider-Man animated series. And Michael Morbius was this brilliant scientist who had this rare, blood disease, and he wanted to cure it. In the comics, I believe, the way he ended up curing it was getting a sample of he was getting a sample of Spider-Man's blood and mixing it with something that he already, had come up with. But like, he thought that Spider-Man's blood could stabilize it. Like in the comics, it's something along the lines of he created a cure, but the cure wouldn't last, so he needed something to, like, I don't know, give it a punch to last, and he figured Spider-Man's blood would. It did, and then it didn't. I hope they do this, because in the comics, it worked. He was cured. And then it went the other fucking direction, and he had white skin, and, his hair was like, his hair was the same. He had white skin and fangs, and he could fly and do all kinds of crazy shit. But yeah, Morbius the Living Vampire. And he starts off as a Spider-Man villain and eventually becomes an anti-hero ally to Spider-Man. He goes off, he fights with Blade and all these other people. Like, so Morbius does become a good guy. But like I said, it is so weird that they keep doing this. That Venom and Morbius both have something in common. They both were in a roundabout way created by Spider-Man, because Morbius became Morbius because he took Spider-Man's blood, and Venom became Venom because he was attached to Spider-Man. But anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent on talking about this trailer. For the most part, I thought this was a really good trailer. I thought this was a very good trailer. I'm not sure what to feel. Because there's a part of me that's like, this feels like one of those old school, early 2000s trailers for like a Blade Trinity or Guillermo's Hellboy or something along those lines. It feels like a movie that would come out back then in the early 2000s, and I don't mean that in a negative. It just feels like that. When I was watching the trailer, I was like, this looks like something, because it just reminded me of the old Marvel. The old Marvel, how like things were like vaguely, like how things were like, well, this is sort of how the story was. This is sort of how the story went. So like they kept the whole thing about him having a disease. Though I think they're kind of going a little over the top with the whole him getting beaten up and being half crippled. I don't think that's even a thing. I think he does have a disease. He does have a blood disease. But if I recall, it didn't really fuck him up like, it fucked him up and he was dying. He was dying, so it was a bad disease. But he wasn't like fucking crippled and having to walk around like that. I don't think it was like that. I think it was just like this disease that was killing him, and he had a life expectancy before this shit started kicking in, so he like spent his life trying to find this. Which is why it always made sense in the comics. He spent his life looking for this. He sees Spider-Man. He sees that Spider-Man can do all these things. He's like, okay, I gotta get a blood sample of his. But like, I honestly do think that both Venom and Morbius would be served better by being gray area Spider-Man villains than this. Like, this could have been so much easier if they had put Morbius like in Spider-Man Far From Home, or had Morbius be like a teacher or something, or someone that Peter talks to, and like that. But the way they're going about it with the whole bats thing, it's a little over the top. Like I said, in the comics, it was literally just a serum gone bad. It was a serum. It wasn't this whole over dramatic, him holding his hands up and thousands of bats. Looks like the bats jump inside of his hand, which is kind of weird, but I digress. The special effects look kind of cool though, with him jumping on the ground and stuff, and I think the makeup design on him looks really cool too. It looks really cool. I think the makeup on his face, the contact lenses look cool. And then there's obviously the post-Stinger thing with fucking Michael Keaton as the Vulture, I think. I don't know what Sony's doing. They really want that Sinister Six movie. And I'm afraid they're going to completely fuck the two great villains that Spider-Man has been set up in Spider-Man. By the way, I laughed. I giggled a little bit when I saw by the producers who gave you Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home. I'm like, that's adorable that you think you're responsible for those movies being that big. Venom, sure, whatever. Take credit for Venom. Granted, Venom probably wouldn't have been as successful if people didn't know that it wasn't connected to the MCU, because people didn't know. I remember that was one of the most asked questions about Venom. Is this connected to the MCU? So, in a roundabout way, that movie was also successful because of the MCU. So it was like, sure. But the guys who brought you these two movies who were clearly because of Kevin Feige, and this other movie we kind of tricked the audience into coming in. Then they had a good time, and they just kept coming back. But I digressed. It kind of got a chuckle out of me. But the whole Michael Keaton thing at the end is just confusing. A lot of this promotion is confusing. You got this thing in the background in one of the shots that says Murderer, and it's like the Spider-Man, but it's the PS2, PS4 new Spider-Man, Spider-Man game, but it's the Spider-Man 2 outfit from Sam Raimi's movies, but it says Murderer over it. So it's almost in continuity, but it's not in continuity. I don't know, man. I'm still trying to figure out how the hell Venom's supposed to be in continuity, taking place in San Francisco, and Ant-Man takes place in San Francisco, and there's no. I'm confused. Sony. Oh God, they fucked this up. Oh, Sony, don't fuck this up. Please don't fuck this up. I was okay with you guys having your own Sonyverse, because then I was just like, whatever. You know, as long as they're not affecting the MCU, I don't give a rat's ass what they're doing. I'm like, I hate it. I didn't like Venom very much. And Morbius, I wasn't really looking forward to. I thought this was a decent enough trailer, but it makes me worried. That little ending just made me worried. I'm like, oh my God, are you guys going to just do this? Are you guys really going to do this? Are you guys really going to just all of a sudden pop up, like, just start snatching the characters that are introduced to the MCU? Because guess what? It's really hard to do these characters whose origins are connected to Tony Stark. So it's like, man, you can just, oh, they're in this world now. It's like, what? What is happening? Anywho, just on the trailer, on its merits, all the stuff, speculation, all my whatever. I think it was a decent trailer. I thought it was a really good trailer, a really good starting trailer. It had a good atmosphere. I like the special effects on Morbius. I like the little purple streaks. I like the design of his face and the fangs and how that looks. Jared Leto is not a bad actor, though personally, I wanted him for Nightmare, because I think he can do that. I think he can pull it off. There are no other actors in this trailer that, there's one other actor in this trailer that I recognize. So that's a bit worrisome. It does seem like it might be kind of a story that we've seen before. Almost like the Incredible Hulk, only with a negative twist, because it might have a bad ending, you assume. And, with Jared Leto brooding and walking around in the rain. But we'll see. That's my thoughts on the Morbius trailer. I thought it was decent. I thought it was pretty good. It's not bad. Hopefully the movie turns out good. You know, hopefully this partnership doesn't fuck up the MCU's plans. I highly doubt it would, because Kevin Feige wouldn't let it. So thank you guys for joining me in the Comic Game Movie Show. See you in the next one. Goodbye.